So this video today, hi, I am Dr. Kathy Backus, and I am making a video on rattlesnakes in dogs. It's a really important topic in all seriousness because there's a lot of confusion about it. And where we live in Kanab, Utah is even more pertinent information for you to have to make informed choices, because you don't have as quick access to getting help if you are in a situation where your dog gets bit by a rattlesnake than some other locations. That's the beauty of Kanab, both the beauty of Kanab and the problem with being in a remote area. So the big thing, I think, what people get the most confusion about is, do I need to go to a veterinarian or not? If my dog has actually had the rattlesnake vaccine, does that mean I don't have to have any emergency treatment? And no, it does not mean that. What it does is essentially is the cheapest insurance you can get, bought you some time. Because this is a Western Diamondback. This is the most common type of rattlesnake around here. And Western Diamondbacks have what we call a hemotoxin, or a blood toxin. And it literally travels through the lymphatic system. So what that means is the poison, so I'm going to do a word picture. It might be a little graphic so you can really understand it. The venom of the Western Diamondback hemotoxin, or blood poison, is like little hand grenades. Well, imagine that, little tiny hand grenades that the snake will put into the body, and then it'll start traveling and putting its hand grenades all around, all through the blood vessels. And then it detonates them all, right? So it's super sneaky. So there's this delay time of how many little hand grenades am I going to put through the body. And the problem is, you never know when you're bit by a snake, or your dog is bit by a snake, of how much venom or little poison did they put in the animal? How big is the animal in relationship to the amount of venom? And so there's a lot of factors that you don't know. So it's all these unknown factors of, wow, I've got these little hand grenades that are being planted all in my bloodstream, inside my blood vessels, little hoses. So literally when they detonate, they explode the red blood cells and the platelets, and they cause these shards that then go into your kidneys. Your kidney filters your blood, and so now you've got shards in your blood that the kidney filters, and then the kidney filter gets damaged. And so the end result is, by the time these little shards are filtered through the kidneys and you have a problem, you're like 2 days out. And at that point in time, if you chose to not go to a veterinarian and just wait things out to see, it's too late, because we can't bring kidneys back. And so that's why it's super important to bring your dog to a veterinary facility if it's been bitten by a rattlesnake, no matter if it's had recent rattlesnake vaccine, no rattlesnake vaccine. In any case, it's super, super important to take your dog to the veterinarian regardless. So I hope that helps illustrate a little bit about why, what the importance is with that, because we have no cure for kidneys once they're trashed with little shards in the blood with the venom. So the other piece to that is the rattlesnake vaccine, again, is no guarantee, because it relies, what it does is it literally teaches the dog's body, their immune system, hey, when this comes into the system, start looking for little hand grenades, but do it quicker than not, because if it travels through the lymphatics, there's a delay. And it's sneaky little bastards, aren't they? They go plant it all throughout the body in the bloodstream without your immune system reacting yet, and all of a sudden you've got an overwhelming amount of them. So what the vaccine does is it alerts the immune system early on to say, hey, we need to start counteracting this before we get really big numbers built up. So that is the importance of the vaccine. The other component to that people will say, well, I've heard that they can get reactions from the rattlesnake vaccine. And the rattlesnake vaccine is very different than a viral vaccine that we would give for distemper virus, parvovirus. It literally is just proteins of the venom. And so there's no reaction like they're going to get the disease, or they're going to get poisoned by the vaccine itself. What can happen, because they're proteins, the body can react to it. And the most common reaction or thing that you'll see is if you don't get that vaccine under the skin, what we call sub-Q, and you go intradermal, into the layers of the skin, sometimes the dog can then develop a little abscess or a little redness around the vaccine site. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We know that if that happens, the dog actually develops an immunity quicker, or gets more educated about it because the immune system was alerted to it. So I just wanted to actually free up that misconception as well. Just also a little disclaimer, I don't work for Red Rock Biologics. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I'm simply sharing this information because you need to be able to make the best and most informed decisions for your animals, whatever area you live in, and that is always our intent with sharing the videos. So hope that's helpful. Also come to our website. My website has a ton of information, www.drbackus.com, and it's spelled out DOCTOR, B as in boy, ACKUS.com. Couple flies. Thanks.